On new YouTube and stay tuned.
I have a lightning bolt. I have a lightning bolt.
Oh, you wanna talk?
No. But I have a lightning bolt. Be careful.
Be careful, y'all. Peace, love, and light to you all.
She's looking so beautiful today.
Thank you. Go ahead.
You new necklace? He threw all of those away in the house. He grabbed all of those in the house one day and got scared of them and threw them all away. If you guys know what that means, that's the evil eye. That's the very thing that makes you have to reflect and look at your own shit. You put out negative energy, all that energy has to come back to you. Funny story, he ran around the house and gathered all of those and threw them all away. This is so funny. It's like they don't even know their own shit. It's like they don't even know spiritual, like, yo, it is what it is, man. The Sheba and True and all those people, whoever else wants to talk about, yo, and Juju, all y'all niggas, bro, shut the fuck up. Number one, shut the fuck up, because y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then that's why you need to shut the fuck up, because you don't know what's really going on, and you about to find out. Best thing that happened to y'all is for him to be in jail. That's the easiest way for y'all to love him, because if he was right there with y'all, you know it'd be another story. Y'all be like, damn, I might want to leave tomorrow. It's different. Ain't no victim. Don't nobody feel bad for you. Ain't nobody wrongfully in prison. You're not wrongfully in jail. None of that, bro. Take responsibility for why you're where you're at. And so funny. It's like they don't even know their own shit. It's like they don't even know spiritual. It is what it is, man. The Sheba and True and all those people, whoever else wants to talk about, yo, and Juju, all y'all niggas, bro, shut the fuck up. Number one, shut the fuck up, because y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then that's why you need to shut the fuck up, because you don't know what's really going on, and you about to find out. Best thing that happened to y'all is for him to be in jail. That's the easiest way for y'all to love him, because if he was right there with y'all, you know it'd be another story. Y'all be like, damn, I might want to leave tomorrow. It's different. Ain't no victim. Don't nobody feel bad for you. Ain't nobody wrongfully in prison. You're not wrongfully in jail. None of that, bro. Take responsibility for why you're where you're at, and motherfucker, be grateful for all the shit you getting away with. Be grateful for all the shit you getting away with. Without giving up my lightning bolts, bro, you beat women till they bleed. This man killed my body, bro. It's not time yet. It's not time yet. But if we need to get down to it, there's medical records. San Juan Hospital. J.R. Marie Hamilton, Courtney P. Townsend. Yeah, there's medical records. They'll tell you exactly what happened. What we told you guys was a lie. So I want to hear you guys talk about keeping it real with me one more time. I want to hear y'all talk about real nigga one more time. I want y'all to talk about how this...
I am. Okay, so what brought this on for me was, one, there's a lot of stuff going on with carbonation, and I'm only really speaking to those that know what we're talking about. So I have a lot of followers that don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to give you the backstory of who they are and what it's about, but if you just want to hear us talk and share, you're more than welcome. But what brought this on is that obviously there are things going on with the group. They pretty much broken up, majority of them, because the leader, Nature Boy, is in jail now, and he has been accused of doing things relevant. But I still see people talking that was never there, and they're just basing their own little opinion about what they see on the internet. So even though I have left that group, I'm still a part of it. Quetzals, we're still a part of it, and that was an experience that we have, and we know that as long as we're on the internet, we're always going to be attached to it in some way. But today we really wanted to talk to the members and the ex-members there to share our experience, our wisdom, and support in any way that we can, because we're not on anyone's side. We're pretty much neutral, and you want to start?
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess, when you said, like, there's people that follow you that don't know about what it is that you're going through, like,
yeah,
I feel like this topic goes way deeper than most people, give it credit for. And so I think that at some level, a lot of people can resonate with all the things that we're going to talk about, because what I realize is that people take things very personal. So even with this situation, like, they get wrapped up in the characters and they don't necessarily get the message. They don't necessarily get the experience and what that was there to teach them. So people get so polarized. They're either like, against this character or for this character. But what about the individual journey? What about yourself and what you've learned throughout the process? So, yeah, I mean, for us, that was an experience where we met. And it was a very interesting time, and I think that we were both like on this spiritual journey, looking for something, looking for reason, for purpose, like looking for some sort of aligned philosophy that we could embody, and so we both ended up there,
Yeah.
And so, throughout the time there, there was obviously things that I didn't agree with, and I didn't always voice the things that I didn't agree with, but there were some times where I did voice the things that I didn't agree with, and there were some times where I was not in alignment. I was ready to go because I didn't want to be in an environment where things that I didn't agree with were happening.
So what made you want to sit here and be living in fear that, hey, I'm going to leave him for another man, he's going to leave me for another woman? All right, good luck. That's how I feel.
King Will, he just keeps writing the same thing over.
What's he do? It's who?
He's writing Mama Dia.
Well, you know what? We should take a moment for Mama Dia. We should take a moment for Mama Dia. Let's take a moment, because y'all really care about this woman that you've never met, and we should take a moment for Mama Dia. Yeah.
King Will, he just keeps writing the same thing over.
What's he do? It's who?
He's writing Mama Dia.
Well, you know what? We should take a moment for Mama Dia. We should take a moment for Mama Dia. Let's take a moment, because y'all really care about this woman that you've never met, and we should take a moment for Mama Dia. Yeah. Mama Dia was a kind woman, and she stood for what she believed in, and she went the way that she wanted to go, And I'm glad that I was there to actually know what happened. And, so I don't want to take that away from Mama Dia.
Bro, I commend her, like, what she did at her age, and, to have that openness to do something that courageous.
Yeah.
When there's young people out here who never, like, follow their dreams or never take that leap.
Yeah.
Like, that was really courageous of her to go out there and at that age and explore life and have that experience.
Yeah.
And I think that was just a very beautiful way to close the chapter of her life here,
Oh, my people are in here. Like, some of y'all, I know y'all my followers. Other y'all, I know y'all just here for carbonations. But Anoki said, can y'all do a live about not wanting each other but staying anyway? That's interesting. Yeah, we did a live about that, where our relationship is built on purpose, not love. But Ketzel and I, because of this relationship that we're in, it has really helped me grow. It has really helped me see myself more ways that I don't think any relationship has. And I know for Ketzel, like, he could say the same thing too. And so we are going to start having these conversations. It's just that Ketzel and I don't want to come off of a place like we know everything. We only been together for going on 4 years, but we want to share. It's not, we don't want to have a chip on our shoulders like we know when you don't. We just want to, because we know relationships take time, and we only been in it for 4 years now. But we still have a perspective on what we've learned, and so we just kind of putting it together and just seeing how it goes. Because we know relationships are really big for people. And this is where him and I really found our true self, is in this relationship, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. And, you got all these relationship coaches and both on the women and men's side, you have like women telling women how to move and men telling men how to move, but it's really rare that you actually get a couple who's actually giving you both perspectives from each side in a balanced way, you know. So yeah, definitely that's something that we want to talk about.
So do you want to open up?
Yeah, let people come.
You okay, so who wants to come on camera?
Not world news. We already know.
We definitely ain't have world news on.
We already know what he's talking about. He's talking about the same shit he's been talking about.
No, world news by. But anybody else that want to come on camera?
Anybody who has like substance, maybe who has like a really balanced perspective on the whole situation, or not, or just the people who.
You know, like, come on, we're gonna allow you to say but so much. You're gonna come here acting crazy. But if y'all do, because people want to share their perspective. People want to. World news, go away. We're not letting you on. We're not letting you on, world news. Bye. Okay, let's see. Meeks Natalie.
He said, "Oh, okay."
Hi.
Oh, you're not even in the camera.
Oh, well.
Okay, so I've been listening from the beginning.
Okay, that's nice.
I've been following you guys for years, and I think you're kind of missing it a little bit because, and I'm was commenting that I don't agree with some of the things you're saying as far as with Nature Boy.
Yeah,
he did have some good, but we have to acknowledge the bad that people do. And what I've learned since the last couple of years, there has been a seek for knowledge for young people, right? And what I've noticed is there's a lot of people that's out there preying on people, on young people. Because they know you're seeking to find out who you are, to find out who God is or whatever, and they're using that to prey on weak, not to say weak, but people who don't know who they are. And I think Nature Boy was one of that, because I almost got caught in the beginning.
Okay.
I almost got caught, right? And things happened and opened my eyes to see this is not the right way. And I think, I supported you guys and you left and everything, and to hear you sound like you kind of have a foot in there and a foot out, kind of make you feel a little weird. So don't take it as people are attacking you because you're not saying what they want you to say. It's just that we kind of like thrown off a little bit as to what you're saying.
Well, let me ask you this. If we were on here talking and exposing everything that happened, these people would be okay with that. But the moment we say like that we got any positive experience from that situation, there's all this backlash. So what we're doing and we're trying to do to the best of our ability is share a balanced perspective to where we know that there's things that he does that we don't agree with, that we don't look at as righteous, that we know that he's paying the consequences of, right? Like we acknowledge that, but we're also acknowledging the other part. That's when people like stop listening, when we start saying anything positive. But it would be a lie for us to sit here and say that experience was complete hell and there was nothing positive about it. It would be a lie. So that's why we're sharing both sides. But obviously, if you think he's the devil and you say something positive about the devil, it makes you look like you're the devil too, or you're a demon, or you're aligned with that, So, but that's not how we look at it. We take the whole experience for what it is, and we actually were there. So it's really challenging when people who weren't there try to give us, try to tell us what things were. When we were there, we were physically there, and so people are all just online, and the online world, things get misconstrued, things get chopped up and distorted, and you get a very small percentage of what things actually are. So that's what we're dealing with on our side is all those issues that I just described. So that's just if anybody wants to get an understanding of why we're talking the way we're talking, that's why.
I understand. I appreciate you guys coming on. I do see there is growth. I look at your life and I'm like, damn, I would love to be living in Hawaii too, So there is growth there. But I think some of the people is just, they just want to see some empathy, especially. What bothered me the most is, out of the whole conversation, is that, Solar, even though how I felt about them, when I found out what happened from his mouth, what happened to the baby. And it's like I felt like I didn't get much empathy from you guys about that, if anything. Because
we don't really know what happened. That's why there's a lot of situations that happen that we don't have, like, we weren't there, so we don't really know, or we haven't even heard about it through the internet or through any means. So mostly what we're talking about is in reference to the experiences that we had when we were there, and what we know that experience to be, and what we know Nature Boy to be.
And we also know that if you are not there, okay, if you're not there, if you didn't see it, we know people leave and they make stuff up. So we know
they've done it about us.
So that's why when we hear stuff on the internet, we have to take it with a grain of salt, because we're not there. Like, and people have lied on me and made a video about it. I'm like, that didn't happen. So until you can get on the other side of it, it's like you're gonna have your one perspective, you know. And I guess empathy for me, I can speak for myself. It's why I came on camera today, because I'm talking to the ex-members, because right now they're caught up in the whirlwind of carbonation. But when the dust settles, you're gonna be out here on your own. And they ain't gonna be getting no donations, and you will have to figure out your life. That's where the empathy comes from. And we're here to be any support that we can to let them know it gets hard. And then and with that message that you learn, you're gonna have to practice what you preach. And we're seeing people ain't doing that. That's what we see. So, yeah.
So the fact that you were able to set up this good life that you have, you know, everything seems to be in order. Have you reached out or put it out there for the members who are now stepping out on their own to encourage them that, you know, you guys can do it too? This is how we did it. You know, we dug deep or whatever. Do you feel like you want to do something like that to help the people before everything has happened, before he went into jail, like there were certain members that we did talk to, like people that would leave, they would call us and we would encourage them and support them, you know, and then we saw them go left, you know, whatever, and then we just stepped away because it's their life. But the group that has left, the only person that we only talked to a couple of people, and yes, I have shared, you know, with them about my experience and to support, and you know, we talk to them, but we give people space, because it's like right now when you leave carbonation, you are confused because you was in this bubble, in this fantasy world of how things work in this world, and then you leave, and then now you're like, whoa, what am I to do with my life now? And sometimes you might choose that road, or you might choose that road, but it took me a good year to really get out of the world of how things should be and start moving into the life that I want, and realizing that I'm in reality, and there's just some things in reality that you have to do. This whole thing, you not needing money. Well, in this reality, you need money. And so I had to find a way of creating money that didn't make me lose my integrity and take my freedom away. So those things like that is that I want them to be aware of, that once you're no longer a part of that group, you're going to have to figure these things out. It's
just like, you know, in carbonation, they talk about leaving Babylon, right? So, but when you leave carbonation, it's like the same thing. You leave in another system. So you have to, anytime you leave a system, you have to replace it with another system. So unless you got an economy, you got your business, got your, you know, own philosophies, you're going to be confused. You're not going to know where to go. You're either going to revert back to the system of Babylon or civilization, whatever you want to call it, or you're going to be in the carbonation trying to hold on to that knowledge. Yeah. So you kind of have to go through this process of reinventing and figure out what it is that you're going to embody. And that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing like Musa trying to figure it out, Solar trying to figure it out. They're trying to tap into like philosophies that they feel are pertaining to them and not so much where they came from, but also at the same time not fall back into just being like another cog in the wheel in the system. So it's challenging, you know. We have to figure that out, and that's why we're putting ourselves out there, because we feel like for the most part we have figured it out, and we've been able to sustain our life after carbonation without just going back to get a regular job, regular civilians, but also not like having to depend on carbonation and none of that. So that, yeah, we definitely are open and here for them to share anything that has helped us along the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to hear. Well, I wish you guys continued peace and happiness. I know it's rough out there in the comments, but it's just expected. Everyone, right?
And thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
do this.
How about, let's see. Oh, I don't have it either. Cause
Yeah, can you close it out on your end?
okay. Okay. So.
Okay, she closed it.
Okay. We have not lived on donations in years. He has a business. We've actually talked to Solar Astral Weekend. Like we've talked. He been in my lives all the time. We talk to them. Like we've talked to like mostly everyone. Not that we know of. Not everybody that left, because we don't know everybody. But it's like we've talked to people. But we just want to put out a different energy. Like to be different. We want to put out a different energy. Like life.
We look broke. All right, let me show you my bank account. That's what
No. Yeah, I mean, people can say whatever they want, but yeah, that's us. Like, we just want to put out a different energy and a different video and be ourselves and tell people how it really is. And like, we was in there, and I know thinking about carbonation, it's like, oh my God, it's the devil's lair, and we still came out of that situation on top. We still, and we believe that anybody that leaves that situation could do the same if you choose to. Yeah. But if you choose to stay there, that's on you. That's you. That's what you want to do. You know, and I commend anybody that still wants to be part of that mission, because I'm still not clear what it is now. But it's like I wouldn't dare talk shit to someone on camera because of what they choose to do. Like I don't move like that. I don't move like that. So you know, but apparently some people do. But I'm very like happy that we did this video. I'm sure it gave people some clarity and able to see me. I don't want people that see me. I don't want people that just pretending. Like, y'all, these followers don't mean anything to me.
And I think that's what people understand about you.
It doesn't mean anything. You don't really support me.
They think you're being a certain way, but that's just who you are.
Yeah.
Like, they think, like, why is she talking like that? Why do you gotta, like, that's just who she is, bro. Like, you're either gonna accept her for who she is, or you're not. You're gonna realize you don't fuck with her, and you can unfollow, you can go your way, and realize that that's what it is. But if you're here, and you see her expressing herself, like, that's who she is. Like, oh, you feel like she's talking down to you. You feel like she got a chip on her shoulder. You feel like she's too cocky. Okay, that's who she is. Like,
sometimes.
So that's just going back to all this situation. Like, and even when people look at it.
Yes, I am slow. Yes, sometimes I am slow. I'll be like, I don't get it sometimes.
Even when people look at it, like Nature Boy, like, that's the whole thing, wanting to make somebody be something that they're not, instead of just accepting them for who they are.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, because they're asking. I should have told them to put the questions in the bubble. Somebody said, Miss Cherry Bomb said, do you think Nature Boy will ever change?
Nah, he is who he is. He's always been who he is. Like, if you look back throughout his life, throughout all his relationships, everything he's done, he's exhibited the same pattern of behavior in different ways. It's manifested in different ways through different belief systems. But we all are who we've always been, and we grow within that. But the essence of who we are is eternal.
You know, hey, you want to get on camera? No. Well, you better leave. Yeah, y'all, I'm so proud of Zen, because he let us do this live with no interruptions all this time. And he's soaking wet and muddy. But he allowed us to do this live, because you know how children need things. You know, that question for me is, I don't care if he changes or not, because the only person that needs to change is me. I'm the one that needs to change. And when I start changing in my life, that's when I start seeing change. That's when I start seeing growth. I can't control whether or not a person change. I can't. And I don't care. Like, it's like, I don't care if you choose to change, because that means that me changing is only up to whether you changing. Me being a good person is only up to you being a good person. No, I'm going to be a good person because I want to be. Fuck you. You can be whoever you want to be. I'm going to be me. And I found that a lot of times that instead of me being who I am, I'm being who you are. Because you petty, I'm going to be petty. Like, because you mad, I'm going to be mad. If you choose to be mad, you still talk shit to me, okay. I still gonna forgive you. I'm still gonna be me. You ain't gonna control me by being who you are. Be who you are, and I'm gonna be who I am. And that's the thing that I had to learn. To everybody else, I was like, everyone came with their own intentions. Everyone came with their own desire. So we projected what we thought Nature Boy and Carbonation was about, but it was our own projection of what we thought because we all not that. What's up?
Okay, like.
What? Okay.
I thought she was, yeah, she lied. They said she was lying.
Yeah, I was just being real, and honest and blatant, transparent on my life. I just felt like a lot of things I wanted to get off my chest, and that's why I came over here.
What are you talking about? You taking shots? You sound like you're trying to take shots.
Oh, no.
It's okay. Terry, it's okay you're taking shots. I'm okay with
We're going to
that.
handle it later.
I'm really okay with that. Like, I'm okay.
Be good over here.
It's like if you hurt Terry, you can always talk to me. And I've always said that. And see, I'm not mad at Terry because I'm just like her. Like if someone is doing something I don't know how to address, like, look, I don't like that you're doing that. So I'll take like cheap shots and say condescending things, and I forgive you because I do the same shit. But I always have my door open to Terry. I reached out to her when she kept leaving, like, hey, I'm here if you want to talk. I'm here if you want to talk. So that energy is like, it's okay.
Yeah, and these are the moments where, yet again, I exercise compassion. And it's fine. I trust myself as a leader, to be honest, because I'm not going to promote confusion. I'm not going to promote that. I actually want to create clarity. So I'm not even going to do anything or talk about this or deal with this until emotions are controlled. Because I know my partner, and I know that she wants to defend me and loves me very much. And a lot of these other things, and the people in the comments were misconstruing things. And on top of everything, the way that I teach how love responds, she's not exempt from that either. You don't respond like that off rip and then claim to be love. You don't do that because, like I said before, you have to seek understanding first. She knows this. We talk about this. It's fine. I'm not stressing. However these things are going to play out, they'll play out. But I do know they will be done with maturity. As long as it's in my control. I'm not going to allow it. As long as it's in my control, it's love around here. My field, and I'll go there with you for a moment, but it's to transmute that. It's to change that. It's not to stay there. So I appreciate and I respect her heart, and I know where she's coming from. And then I was able to understand where you're coming from. I actually chose to have no background information so I could just come in with the purest heart. That's actually what I like to do. When I do readings, I don't even look at your chart until we're on the phone. And then we're actually talking, and then we're talking. And then 30 minutes in, I'm like, all right, look at the chart now. That's how we do it. And I look at it, and then I make it as real as possible.
Like, they reveal their chart, and you're like, whoa.
Right. So I also make this disclaimer. I said, look, I'm going to read to you the energy, but you have to tell me your life. I make everything about inquiry. I make everything about due diligence. I make everything about people telling me who they are. I'm not going to tell you who you are. You tell me who you are. This is what the energy says.
Yeah.
This is just what the energy says. You tell me who you are. So I'm very keen on asking questions first. Like, I'll protect my friends.
And if you watch my live, that was me being authentic. Being truly authentic, as authentic as I could be in that moment, was this is who I am and this is where I stand. And I don't want you to look at me and project your ideas on me. This is who I am. I want you to make a good judgment based on what I've shown you. And you decide whether or not I hold space in your life or if I don't. But I want you to make the best decision on me being as open and as authentic as I possibly can. And it continues to grow because I just been learning. I've been taking this Kabbalah class, and it has like opened my mind to the reasoning. One of our reasons why we decided to come into this physical expansion called life, and we are here. And I should say, I'm learning that I am here. Let me say I. It's I. Okay? You're not in the Kabbalah class. I am. That's a mantra we say. Like, the world's not in Kabbalah class. You are, so keep it here. So, being in Kabbalah class, what it has revealed to me was that my intentions of doing anything was for my own desires. And it's not bad to do things for your own desires, but you have to know that your hidden agenda may not be to help others. Your hidden agenda could be, what can I receive? What can I get out of this? And when you don't get what you wanted from that person, then you're going to feel a certain way. So that lets you know, like, you wasn't doing that out of love. You was doing that out of recognition. You wasn't sharing with that person to share. You were sharing with that person because you wanted them to say thank you. You wanted them to acknowledge that you were a nice person. And I started really looking at this. And so even with my content, even with me putting myself out here on the internet, I realized that the reason why I was getting triggered or felt a certain way when people talk about me and my appearance and just my demeanor, myself for the right to express myself. I'm not expressing myself to express the light and to be God. I'm expressing myself because I want admiration. I'm expressing myself because I want to be recognized. I want to be liked. So when I'm not getting that from you, then my whole world is shattered. Then my ego is bruised. And and I'm just like, because I'm doing this for my own selfish desires, not for the light, not to share the light. And for me, the light is the truth. Because what's in the darkness, the light will shine and show you. I don't separate the light from the dark. They need each other. The light and the dark need each other to be the light and the dark. You can't have one without the other. How can it be dark without the light? But for me, that's what I'm here to start focusing on. How can I share the light? How can I share the light? And when I put myself out there yesterday, it was a long time since I've had that energy come at me, right? And that live was very therapeutic for me because I got to see things within myself. Because since a good 2 years now, like, I've been creating content and putting myself out there, but I feel like I've been putting myself out there to be pleasing to you guys. To be nice, to be cordial. But it's just like, but that wasn't coming from a real place. It wasn't coming from a real place. And I had everybody loving me and liking me, and I know that's just not true. I know it's not true. I know I'm going to do things that people aren't going to like. I know some of you can't stand me. And I have to accept that. Because you want to know why? Because I want you to accept me. So I have to accept you. I have to. Is it easy? Hell no. It is not easy for a Sagittarius to sit here and listen to someone criticize them. It is not. Self-righteousness runs through my veins. Okay? But it's like I have to be able to endure that so that the world can endure me. I don't want to change who I am. I don't want you to change who you are. Please don't change who you are. I don't want you to change who you are. Be you. Please be you. And you be like, bitch, I don't fuck with you. Okay, good. Please, just tell me that. But I don't want you to change because I don't want to change for you, and I don't want you to change for me. And this is why I came on camera today, because I just want to start. I'm a teacher and I want to teach, but I also want to come on here and let you guys know what I learned. I'm still learning. I'm learning, and what I do is what I learn. I come back to my community and give it to you guys. And then I expect that energy back. Whether if you want to chat with me, whether if you want to give me, I don't do donations, whether if you want to pay for one of my offerings with exchange of energy, whatever. Like, I want it to be an exchange. And sometimes those exchanges aren't going to be good. And people hit me up and sent me messages. Some were respectable. I told them, I said, I'm not running away from your pain. Say whatever you need to say about me. Say whatever. Say however you feel about that live. Say whatever you feel about what's going on. Say whatever, because I know you're just sharing your hurt with me. You're sharing your pain with me. And I'm not running away from it this time. Now, if you choose to run away, that's on you. But I want to be an example. I want to be an example to the world. And the only person, and you know what, y'all, Nature Boy doesn't have to change. He can be whoever he want to be. I have to change. I have to change. No one else. My husband don't have to change. My child don't have to change. I have to change. And ever since I've been moving with the intention of sharing the light, my relationship with my husband has changed. My relationship with my child has changed. Hey, I have more patience than I ever have before. I really have. And then sometimes my husband says stuff to me and like to put me in my place, and usually I want to come back at him and explain myself, but I just sit with it. I'll say, you know what you said rubbed him the wrong way. Sit with it. Just sit with it. We had to argue with him.
I got no feelings to go. I swear I had it up to here. I got no feelings to go. I mean, for real. Fuck how you feel.